Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, Very Factual. We're your hosts, Kayla.
And Isabella, and there was many games in the Premier League this weekend, but the biggest game of all, I would say, was the Manchester Derby.
I agree. Manchester United and Manchester City played on Sunday in the derby with the expected City win of 3-0. United was pressing first half, and first goal was a penalty for the one and only Haaland. Second half remained 2-0 until the 80th minute when Phil Foden scored. It was an expected win for City, which I mentioned, but United obviously let down their guard again. At the end, we saw United really pushing for at least one goal, and it did not work out. We also saw Onana get a yellow card for delaying time during Haaland's penalty. But honestly, this game, United as a whole, at least tried to step it up, I think. But like I saw a little more unity. However, it did not take them far considering the score. 3-0. Expected that against City, but like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really. I
Sad
don't have. It's
result.
kind of it's expected, but it was a big game considering. Honestly, I was even thinking maybe like a 4-0 type of
Yeah.
thing. But.
I think you didn't even have to watch the game to know City were gonna win. I
Hmm.
think we all really knew City were gonna win, especially against this United side. And I'm gonna be honest, City wasn't that great at all in the first half, especially. They gave United chances, but of course, United couldn't make the most of them. And the majority of the chances United got came from City mistakes. Like there was mistakes from Grealish, Rodrigo, and a few other players. But it's like you get like a clear opportunity and you can't even like be clinical enough to finish it. That's like a real big concern. And you said there was some unity, but I actually really disagree. It might be my like United hatred, but I absolutely think there was no game plan. I think it looked to me at least, that United were just running around after the ball. I feel like Ten Hag had really no approach to this game, and I couldn't find anything right that he did. I just think he did a lot of wrong things. Like, okay, City had 21 shots in this game, and 10 of them were on target against United at Old Trafford. You cannot do that. United had 7 shots in total, I believe. That's a pretty big gap.
No, that's true. I'll agree with you with that, and with the whole unity thing, compared to how they normally play, yeah, I think I see a little bit more unity. But compared
Mm-hmm.
to like the how what I would expect from them, no. Like I'll agree with you, they were chasing after the ball.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. It was just honestly very expected that they were gonna lose this, and like you said, the shots, pretty big gap, possession, pretty big gap. It's just
Mm-hmm.
you just knew that City was gonna win.
It really looked like kids against like adults, like men against boys, because City are, I think, the best team in the world, and United have not been great this season at all. And it just showed like the really big margin between those two teams and how far United have to like go to be on like challenge be on that level for challenging for the title, because right now they're nowhere near it. And it's really sad. Like we said, this was expected, and it's like sad that we're saying that because this is a Manchester derby, and the fact that we just expect City to win each one, it's like losing its spark now. I feel
That's
like
true.
the Manchester Derby was always like this big thing. Like no one ever knew what was going to happen until the last couple years where City like really took over, and now it's not like a big event anymore.
I agree.
I think something that I just knew from the start it was going to be horrible.
Mhm.
When I saw the lineups that Ten Hag,
Yep.
his team selection was horrible. He said that it was all for tactics, but there was no tactics in this game. Like we said, they were just running after the ball. And on what earth do you start Johnny Evans over World Cup winner, Champions League winner Rafael Varane? What earth
He
do you do
apparently
that?
he had some tactics. Clearly they were not good.
No.
But I mean, you never know what's going on behind the scenes with, like, the manager and everything, but
Mhm.
I don't see his thought process. Usually, I could, like, see what he could possibly be thinking, but, like, it was just random. It was really random.
Yeah, and he also played Lindelof at left back, and Lindelof is not a left back, and he literally has a real left back that he got in the summer because he wanted a left back, and Sergio Reguilon is playing on the bench. What are you doing? You played Amrabat at left back when he's a midfielder. Like he's all messed up in the head. Like it makes no sense to me what he's doing.
No, I agree, like, there was no thought behind it. I feel like he just, like, pushed them on the field and was like, "Go, play
Yeah,
soccer,"
that's
and
what
it's
it
like,
looked like. And I think City stayed really composed, but United, I think they kept getting flustered and they started panicking, especially towards the end of the game. And when City got the second goal, the game was done, and that's sad to say because United didn't even try, and it was City got their second goal in what, like the 50th minute, something like that, around that time, maybe even a little earlier. Like
yeah, I think
it
it
was
was
some,
it was soon in the I
it
mean,
was somewhere around that time frame.
yeah,
But
but
it's yeah, go
sorry, go ahead.
ahead. No, go.
So I was just gonna say, like, I feel like you said, there was no thought behind it, but
Yeah.
also if you like, I feel like they were pushing a little bit more than their normal. Okay, I can't say normal United selves because normal United selves is absolutely phenomenal, but their selves this season, they pushed a little bit more in this game, and you can see that. But like overall, I just feel like I should expect more, but I can't because you know that the standards are so low now, which is
Mhm.
sad to say, but it's true. It just they're not the same United as they used to be, which makes, like you said, the derby like let it's an expected win for City now.
Yeah, and I think, when Ten Hag came in, I was happy for United. They got rid of Ralph Ragnick, which we are not going to even go into. They got Ten Hag. That was the guy that they wanted, but I think now we've seen him for United for from last season and this season so far, and I think I've come to the conclusion that Ten Hag maybe isn't the guy for the job. And because, like, you can only blame the players for so long. The players are just doing what the manager tells them. And I think
Mhm.
maybe United is too big of a job for him, like Graham Potter at Chelsea. Like, it
Yeah,
was
I
too big.
yep, I agree.
Just as we thought Chelsea might have caught some form, they proved us wrong once again after losing to Brentford 0-2 at Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Ethan Pinnock headed in an opening goal, and Brian Mbeumo scored a late goal on an open net after Robert Sanchez stepped up to help Chelsea with a corner. Um, very disappointed. That is the word I just plaster all over this game. So sad.
I mean, so much for a comeback, Isabella. You were pretty hyped.
Shut
You were pretty hyped, what, 2 episodes ago? You're like, "Nope, this is their comeback, this is
Yeah.
their comeback." I
Like
mean, I don't really see that happening, you
I don't
know?
they were improving and I was on a high and they proved me wrong again. And now we're back in the bottom half of the table. Like
Yep.
this team is like a heart rate. It's like going up and down, up and down, up and down. Like I don't even know what to I think we actually did well in the first half. I think we had a lot of chances, but we cannot capitalize on them. We should have actually had a penalty after a foul on Sterling and another bad VAR decision, which we don't have to go into. But I think the biggest thing is we don't have goal scorers. And we've
Yeah.
spent so much money on all of these players, all of these young wonder kids, but we still can't score a goal. Like we bought Nicholas Jackson, he can't score. Um, like literally everyone on the team. It's
No, yeah.
horrible.
And I feel like Chelsea going against Brentford could have gone either way, but seeing how last week Chelsea almost won against Arsenal, I expected a little bit more from Chelsea. But, I mean, I guess
Yeah.
there was just a lucky few weeks they had there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we when we have the edge in a game, like we saw during the Chelsea Arsenal game, we can score, right? Because we had the edge in the Chelsea Arsenal game. But when one thing goes wrong, we crumble and it looks like we lose on purpose. Like we will do anything to miss the net. It's it's so
Like you said,
bad.
you're lacking those goal scorers.
Yeah, Christopher Nkunku is actually back in training, so he might literally be our only hope. And I really hope that he can be our guy because he looked amazing in preseason, but he is also not like a natural striker. But he has been known for scoring goals, so that is like the only thing I am looking forward to. There's one more hope. But something we have to say, and you have to admit this too, Kayla. I think we've definitely seen Chelsea progress since the beginning of the season.
Since the beginning of the season, yes, but has it been a lot of progress? No.
I think so. If you
Well,
tie Arsenal 2-2, Arsenal what? They're going to be challenging for the title period.
yeah, but they also just lost against Brentford. So it's like I feel like they go in waves, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we look a whole lot better than we did at the beginning of the season. We just have to find the right mentality and be consistent. That is the main thing,
Yeah,
consistency.
that's the thing that honestly both of our teams are
Oh
lacking,
yeah,
like
I
the
think
consistency. It's they don't have that.
I am so ready for Man United Chelsea in December. Like this is going to be such a good game. It's going
It's
to be
gonna be
like
it's gonna look like little kids chasing a ball unless they can both
yeah,
just pull it together.
it's going to be 0-0. I am predicting it right now. The last two fixtures have been 0-0 and 1-1. So I think
Yeah,
this is
you
going to be
know,
0-0.
I'm feeling 1-0. I don't know who. Probably 1-0.
Okay. Maybe
Unless
Hoyland
United
will.
has one of those ups or Chelsea has one of those ups.
I think Chelsea might be having an up because I haven't seen any ups from United. But I think but something we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Chelsea have really tough fixtures coming up. And I seriously don't know how it's gonna go. I said that they were gonna be in relegation, but after what we saw against Arsenal, I'm literally not sure. They could lose some, they could win some. I think it's gonna be pretty like 50-50 because I seriously do not know what to expect. Just as I thought they were getting good, they failed me. And I think
Yep.
something that we have to point out is that this isn't Roman Abramovich's Chelsea. Like this isn't the previous owner's Chelsea anymore. This is a Todd Bowley Chelsea, and under his regime, Chelsea could now be known as a mid-table team because when we think of the Roman Abramovich Chelsea, we think of the Jose Mourinho era. We think of all of those amazing players, the John Terry's, Frank Lampard's, Eden Hazard's. Like this isn't that Chelsea, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with you with that. Like they just aren't teams are not performing as well as they used to, honestly. Like a few of them, yeah, but like Chelsea, I just feel like you should expect more from Chelsea, you know?
Yeah, they look mid-table now. Like
They do. It's like
they
you expect them to stay mid-table. Like, oh, you're not going to get relegated, but you're not going to be top four either.
yeah, like and it's kind of it's like an illusion almost. It's kind of weird for us to see because like I said, we think of Chelsea, we think of like challenging for the title, but I I really hope we're not a mid-table team anymore and I really hope we can pick it up and be consistent because I love Pochettino. I love what type of manager he is. It's just like I the only bright thing I really see in this Chelsea squad is Cole Palmer. Like I literally love Cole Palmer so much. I love that he left City and came to us and he has been looking amazing for us.
Yeah, but like we've mentioned before, you can't always just rely on one player because when you do that, he could get overworked. Like right now, he's doing phenomenal actually,
Yeah.
but it's just I'm worried that it'll just be too much pressure put on him because he's the only phenomenal player on Chelsea at the moment that's playing that's like really you can depend on. And it's like I hope he doesn't just start to fall, you know? Like
No,
Rashford
yeah,
or something.
obviously I'm not saying that you should put all the pressure on Palmer, but I'm just saying like right now, like he looks
Hmm.
like the brightest spark for us and
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really hope that that spark. This is a weird like analogy, but I hope his Cole Palmer spark will light a fire. Okay, that was just weird, but like you know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
I
You just
hope they burn to the ground.
Okay. Crystal Palace took on Tottenham Hotspurs on Friday, allowing the Spurs to return home with a close 2-1 win. First half was very quiet, which is unusual for Spurs this season, I should say, but just 3 minutes into the second half, Ward scored an own goal, giving Spurs the lead. About 15 minutes later, Son scores again, making it very promising Spurs will go home with the win. In added time, however, Palace was really pushing for at least one goal, and AU provided. Of course, the ending score gave Spurs the 3 points they needed to stay at the top of the league table. And like I mentioned, I think it was a pretty expected win for Spurs since they were already number 1, but I expected maybe a 2-0 or a 3-1 scoreline, but Spurs was my initial prediction for this matchup.
Yeah, I actually Spurs weren't the best during this game, but they got three
Mm-mm.
points, and that's the key. You know, they won. I personally don't think like I said this. You disagreed with me every time I've said this, but I personally don't think Spurs will be able to keep up this form through the whole season. Like I am very like secure in that. Like I know for a fact that they won't be able to. Like if Madison or Son gets injured, they don't really have replacements. Like no Son equals no goals.
See,
Like
I'll agree with you on that part that Madison and Son, you need them, but, like, also, I feel like Spurs is looking pretty I feel like now that they have that taste of being in first place or being in the top 4 or even 5, like, I feel like they're gonna push to stay in there. Maybe not number 1, but definitely top even 5.
this is like the same squad from last season, but they are playing amazing under Postacoglu. Like
Mhm.
literally, there are very few changes from the squad since last season. Like what Mickey Van de Ven, the goalkeeper Vicario, and James Madison. I feel like are the two biggest changes, and pretty much all the others are the same from last season. And everyone is happy. The dressing room is no longer toxic as it used to be at
Mhm.
Spurs. They are no longer bottling every single game, and their next fixtures are really going to show us is they can actually challenge for the title because they have really tough fixtures coming up, and if they can get through those and get majority wins or ties, then maybe I would have to say that they'll be able to keep up that form.
But you never know, you know? You just never know with the Premier League. It's so unpredictable, and it's just because City right now, I expected them to still be in first, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you never know, and that's what I really love about it. It's just I mean, Spurs in first right now, they have 26 points, and Arsenal is close second with 24, and
Mm-hmm.
City also has 24, but it's like 26 and 24. It's like you still need to win one more game, depend on Spurs to tie one to move up to first.
Another easy win in the Premier League came for Liverpool as they ran over Nottingham Forest 3-0. Diogo Jota would get the first goal in the 31st minute. Darwin Nunez would then make it 2-0. And of course, Mohamed Salah had to get his goal and finish it off in the 77th minute. It was an easy peasy game for Liverpool. Like,
Yeah.
they got to give some players rest, and I think they really have a lot of depth in their squad now to be able to make those changes. The players are looking great. Dominic Szoboszlai is amazing. Ever since the beginning of the season, he's just hit it off. He's always making right decisions. He had goal scoring opportunities, and he made one of them a couple games ago, and I think he might be my favorite Liverpool player so far this season and one of my favorite Premier League players overall this season. And Darwin Nunez is also getting up to speed and getting his goals. And Alexis McAllister is looking better every single game he plays, which I am so glad because he definitely deserves to be playing well. And I just love the way he fits into Klopp's system. And I think Liverpool are definitely going to challenge for the title. I think they will continue to strengthen as the season goes along. When we did our Premier League predictions, it was our first episode. I had Liverpool second, and I am going to stand by that. Maybe because I am partially Liverpool biased,
Bias.
but I definitely think they'll beat out Arsenal and Spurs, and City will win, obviously, and Liverpool will be second.
Like you said, Liverpool has depth, so it was an expected win. And I noticed that Forest did try at moments, but it wasn't like a constant push between them.
Yeah.
And I feel like once Forest found out they were playing Liverpool, they just kind of like expected to lose. I feel because like I said, there wasn't a constant push. They just kind of like gave up at times. And like you
Mhm.
said, like Liverpool, they have a lot of players they can use, and they. I believe that they'll be probably in like the top four at the end of the season now,
Mhm.
judging by how they're playing and the players they have, and just how they're performing together. Just, you never know though, you never know.
Yeah, I actually don't think Forest did that bad last season, but I feel like this season they definitely slipped off a little bit. And Liverpool, they gave Liverpool like no challenge really.
Mhm.
Like you just knew that
Yeah, like
Liverpool
I
were
said,
gonna.
it wasn't a constant push. Often when you play teams like Liverpool, City, even Chelsea or United, like those
Mhm.
big names, you're like teams like Forest and like Sheffield or something, I don't know, they really push, and it's just they this full not Fulham, Forest was not really pushing as I expected.
Yeah, I feel like you said, for like lower teams, usually when they play a big club, they want to show they get like this adrenaline rush. But it didn't look like Forrest really had that.
Mm-mm.
Just it was expected. Like you
Yeah,
knew.
like I said, they probably just once they found out it was Liverpool, they probably just, like, did not have the energy to like, "Okay, well, let's just lose this already."
Another easy Premier League win came for Arsenal in the Sunday game after beating Sheffield United, of course, 5-0 at the Emirates. Eddie Nketiah would get his first Premier League hat trick. Fabio Vieira then netted a penalty, and Tomiyasu would get his first Arsenal goal right at the end of the game. This was pretty much what we expected, Kayla.
Mhm, like you said, 5-0. I mean, it's expected, but it's a crazy scoreline for the Premier League. But, against a one-point team, Sheffield United, wouldn't expect any less. But
Um,
whenever a team plays Sheffield, I just automatically count the 3 points for the team. And, like, because like, Arsenal was 100% gonna win this. If they didn't, it'd be
yeah.
absolutely shocking.
But an even crazier scoreline against Sheffield was when Newcastle beat them 8-0.
Yeah. It's just I feel like Sheffield I honestly don't know how they got into the Premier League.
No, I
Like,
remember it was like a playoff. They like won a playoff and then that's how they got in. So it's very lucky.
that's very lucky then because clearly they don't match up to any of the standards of any of the
No,
teams.
you can definitely just count them for relegation. Like
Yeah.
they are like they are getting relegated. Like who are the two other teams? Because Sheffield are. They haven't won a game. They're at the bottom with 1 point. Chelsea aren't even that bad. United even aren't that bad. And I think Arsenal did the job. Like, you said what we expected, 5-0, easy game. We got to see a rotation of players. I'm really happy for Eddie Nketiah. I actually really like him better than Gabriel Jesus, and I really hope Eddie Nketiah can become super consistent and kind of edge out Jesus, because I like Eddie Nketiah way more. I feel like Arsenal is like a young side, and Eddie Nketiah is young. Like what? He's like 21, 22. I'm not sure, but I know he's around maybe 23. Actually, I'm not sure. Um, I just I personally like him better than Jesus. And Emil Smith Rowe also looked amazing. He had his first start in 17 months, and he provided Nketiah with an assist in his second goal, I believe. And like I said, they got to rest many players because this was a really easy match, and we did not expect anything else.
Yeah. Like we said, nothing unexpected.
Ever since me and Kayla have started this podcast, we have made it very known that we are really big Jude Bellingham fangirls. And even though we do not cover La Liga unless it's for some Champions League games, we have to mention Jude Bellingham's performance in the El Clasico this weekend. Kayla, this
I mean,
guy.
he absolutely stole the show. People are
Mm-hmm.
calling him a hero, and I honestly could not agree more. his form, his touch on the ball, his mindset, everything really is truly in the right place for him. And he's never egotistic or brags, which is one of the things that I absolutely love because he
Yes.
literally is that dream player that all managers want, honestly. He has the right mindset, like I said, the right touch on the ball, everything. He knows what he's doing, and he's still super young.
It's like he like Andres Christensen, Barcelona defender, he actually said that Jude Bellingham is getting annoying because he is scoring every game. He is just the talking point, and he did it once again for Madrid. He won Madrid the game with his 2 goals. His first goal was incredible. It was an amazing strike outside the box. The second goal was a header, but it won them the game. It
Mhm.
won them this really important El Clasico game. That's always a big deal. And we're running out of ways to describe Jude.
Honestly, I feel like we've been following his career for a while now, and
Yeah.
I feel like I just feel so proud of him because we saw him build up to the point where he is now, and
Yes.
it's just absolutely phenomenal, you know? Seeing
Like
someone that young doing something like this is like,
he's
you know?
20. Only 20.
And people are
Like
calling him a hero, and it's just a hero in the game.
yes.
It's crazy.
Like everyone was wondering if he would show up in the big games, especially this El Clasico, and he did.
Mhm.
Like that is a way to put your stamp on that. Like I am so happy to see him grow. Yester on Monday, he actually the Ballon d'Or ceremony took place, and he actually won the Copa Trophy, which is for like
Mhm.
the best young player, and Jude won it, of course. And I think since the Messi Ronaldo era is over now we are entering like the Jude Bellingham era.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be what he's probably gonna be like the next like Messi or Ronaldo for sure. Him or Holland or
Yeah,
something.
but it's like I was gonna say something. Oh my goodness. Uh,
It's just Jude Bellingham. We can't get enough of him, honestly.
no,
We like you said, we mention him all the time, and he's just he's always has to be a topic of conversation. He's
yeah.
never like you said, he won the balloon. What was it called? I forgot.
The Copa
The wrong trophy. The Copa Trophy. I don't know why I was thinking that.
um,
The Copa
but
Trophy because
but
it's 2 goals. It's like, sorry, go
but
ahead.
but you said you were about to say the Ballon d'Or. I actually think he will win it before Holland and Mbappe.
Yeah,
Like if he really keeps up this form, because next season, I mean, in a year's time, when the next Ballon d'Or ceremony takes place, if Jude has been like this the whole season, it is his trophy. You don't
for
even
sure.
have to vote. You don't even have to vote. You just
You just
know.
know. Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see like how much higher he can go, because 20 years old playing for Real Madrid, probably one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic club in the world, with all of these amazing players around you, the history of this club, and a 20-year-old kid from Birmingham, England. England is ruling Madrid right now, ruling
And
the world.
yeah, and like you said, with the Balloon d'Or, um, like you said with Holland, it's just I have not seen a dip in Bellingham's form yet. And with
No.
Holland, we saw like one small dip. It was very small
Mhm.
and short period of time, but still, like Bellingham's keeping up his form, and it's just perfect for his career, you know?
Yeah, and I am just so excited to see where he can go. And that is all we have for this week.
Yup. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please join us next week and don't forget to follow our Instagram and YouTube at Very Factual Podcast.